Welcome to the final of the women's under-23 single at the 136th Canadian Henley Regatta. At the bottom of your screen in lane 1 from Craftsbury, we have Jennifer McIlvaine. In lane 2 from University of British Columbia, Katie Clark. Lane 3 from Western, Grace Hutton. Lane 5 from Cambridge, Eliza Kalfels. Lane 6 from another Craftsbury scholar, Rhiannon Mulligan. And in lane 7 from Cambridge, Megan Wonder.
Right. All crews are keeping themselves straight. You can see a lot of tapping, so the wind has picked up just a little bit, tapping to keep their bows perfectly straight in their lane. Everybody getting ready to go, probably taking a deep breath, trying to relax a little bit, not get too anxious.
Yeah, in this race, the women have had to come through heats and semis to earn their spot here. So the crews in the middle lanes 3, 4, and 5, will have won their semis to get here. But the crews on the outside lane, they're going to know that anything could happen. If anyone was watching the Junior World Championships this morning, the young sculler from Germany, who was a medal favorite, wound up flipping just into the singles final race that was ultimately won by Clark Dean from the United States, who's a former Henley champion here in the Junior B men's single.
Wow. All right, so good start, good clean start. Nobody seems to be having any issues. Everybody's good in their lanes, no crabs. So we are off cleanly.
Yeah, this is an event. It is just loaded with talent here. In lane 1, Jennifer McIlvaine. She's part of the Craftsbury Green Racing program or Green Racing project that's designed to help athletes achieve the highest level. And Craftsbury runs this for rowing and cross-country skiing out of Connecticut. In lane 2 from UBC, Katie Clark. She's been named as a spare for the under-21 Canadian team that's going to participate in the Trans-Tasman Cup in New Zealand that takes place traditionally between New Zealand and Australia. But Canada taking part this year, in large part thanks to the work of Chris Marshall, Ontario's high performance director.
Yes. So it looks good by everyone. Kind of a long shot right now view, but everybody's looking like they're rowing cleanly and efficiently. These are, again, more experienced athletes in the under-23 single. They're probably in college or university right now. They're training somewhat close to year-round, and they've had a lot of experience under their belts. Now, rowing is a latecomer sport, so there could be some athletes who transitioned their talent from other sports into this event.
Yeah, interesting to see. I'm curious to see what happens in lane 5. Eliza Kalfesel, she's a very storied athlete so far. She's currently at Harvard studying biomedical engineering, but in 2015 she won the junior single at the head of the Charles Regatta in Boston. In 2015 she was at Junior Worlds. In 2016 Junior Worlds, and last year she was at the Under-23 World Championships. When she was at Junior Worlds, she came 7th in the single. Very experienced scholar here.
Yes, very impressive results, and it looks like a family member is her coach. As you can see, Andrew Callis is her coach on the screen.
Yeah, tight race here. Over in lane 6, moving well at this point, we have Rhiannon Mulligan out of Craftsbury. She's also part of their Green Racing project. She's attending Wellesley College, majoring in international relations and economics. And over beside her in lane 7, Megan Wonder from Cambridge. She rows on the Grand River in central Ontario. She's coached by Walter Martindale. He's someone who's helped develop a lot of the coach education resources in Canada, and he spent some time in New Zealand in charge of their coach development program as well.
Yes, so athletes are coming through to the 750 mark right now, so a good opportunity for them to make a move. Depending on the race plan, the water calms down slightly here, so it's a really good time to jump and execute something. But again, it depends on the race plan. It depends on what's going on around you. You have a lot of freedom in the singles to modify your race plan and to react.
Yeah, it looks like lane 4, Grace Hutton from Western has jumped out to a lead. Grace this year was named as a carded athlete for Row Ontario, and she's looking to clearly establish herself. There's a strong field with a lot of international experience, but she's using this race as a way to make a statement and say that I'm here on the scene now.
Yes, very impressive from Grace right now. So coming into the 1,000-meter mark, it is Grace from Western out in front. She is closely followed by a crew from Cambridge and Craftsbury.
Yeah, Grace Hutton rowing at about 32 strokes a minute, which is fairly normal for a single. Over in lane 7, Cambridge, they're at 28 strokes a minute. So Cambridge could be sitting back a little bit, waiting to make a move here, and as well as Craftsbury. But it'll be interesting to see how Grace Hutton responds to these challenges that she's going to face in the last half of the race.
Yes, so third 500, they're just about to hear all their teammates and coaches yelling from the stands, or from the island, I should say. So a good boost right here in a part of the race that is extremely challenging.
Yeah, this event, it was first offered in 1998, and it was won by Bree Ellard from the Regina Rowing Club. The person who's won this race the most is Claudia Blanford from the Winnipeg Rowing Club. She's won this event 3 times. And in 2011, Carlene Zeman from the Sudbury Rowing Club won this. Now, Carlene raced the single for Canada at Rio, has raced for Canada at the World Cups, and will most likely be in the single at the World Championships. She comes out of Laurentian University's rowing program. She was found by their coach, Amanda Schweinbenz, who's also found another real diamond in the rough, and Charles Alexander, who's been performing really well in the men's singles races this week.
Yes, and Carly's one of those late to sport athletes. She didn't start rowing until she was in university. I believe she was a speed skater, if I remember correctly. So it's very interesting to see the experience versus the desire and the power from the newer athletes. But it's racing, so it's all about who can do what on the day of.
And it looks like Grace Hutton's showing a lot of power here as she moves through towards the 1,500-meter pylon. In some of the finals we've seen earlier this week with the smaller boats, we have seen the leads change hand, and it does look like Craftsbury and Cambridge are trying to make a push here. Be interesting to see how much effort Grace Hutton has expended to have this lead up until this point in the race.
Yes, so Grace Hutton still leading by almost a full boat length. There isn't quite open water yet. She is closely followed by Craftsbury and Cambridge, followed by the University of British Columbia, and another Craftsbury boat, Jennifer. All right, coming into the last 500, final sprint coming up.
Yeah, with the 2 boats on the outside lane being so close in striking distance of Grace from University of Western Ontario, they could wind up pulling themselves both into the mix. So Grace is going to have to look out of the corner of her eye. She doesn't want to be turning her head to focus on those other boats, but in her peripheral vision, she has to be aware that these 2 athletes are so close. With only about 300 meters to go as they come towards the red buoys, she's going to have to dig deep to find a little bit more to hold on to this race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting sprint to see who comes out in front, because it is close between those top 3 spots.
Yeah, you'll see in the singles, it's much more of a chess match that goes on. The bigger boats, they want to get out to an early lead and hold on to it. But the singles, you see a lot more strategy going on. And it looks like from Craftsbury, Rhiannon Mulligan is starting to push ahead. Looks like Grace Hutton's trying to bring the rate up, but Craftsbury has brought the rate up quite a bit, looking to try and win herself a Henley Gold in the last 200 meters.
Yeah, definitely a good bump there by Craftsbury. So coming into the last bit, it does look like Craftsbury might have an edge on Grace, but it's hard to tell from the angle.
It is. Does Grace have a little bit more left in the tank? She's been winning for so long of this race. She's going to hear the crowd in the grandstands trying to pull them both in. There's definitely going to be a high level of excitement as these 2 athletes race towards the finish line.
All right, last 5 strokes here. Who wants it? Last couple. Oh, it might be Western. I believe Grace got it.
It looks like Grace held on.
Wow, really good sprint though by Craftsbury. And they're followed by Craftsbury's followed by Cambridge, followed by the University of British Columbia.
Yeah, I'm sure Chris Marshall, Ontario's high performance director, will be happy to see that result. Grace being a carded athlete, named as a spare for the U21 team going to New Zealand. They leave on Tuesday.
All right, so unofficially, Grace with an 8:29.90 from Western Rowing Club.